Hey there, folks. Happy snowy day from Franktown, Colorado. I'm Emily, and this is Einstein with Grumpy Goose Acres. And this video is our first in an educational series all about how to make, do, and use various things around the ranch. Today's topic, pumpkin. Seems a little bit relevant, right? It's all about how to get the pumpkin out of a real pumpkin for pumpkin pie. Einstein's very excited about it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. We hope you have a great holiday and stay safe, be well. Okay, so when it comes to making pumpkin pie, most people do it out of a can, right?
Right, but from pie pumpkins, it's so much better. Most people will take these pie pumpkins, cut them in half, take the seeds out, put them upside down so that the round part is up, and bake them. And that way when they're baked, you just scoop out the pumpkin, put it in your blender, blend it till it's smooth. I'm just gonna bake them whole. For me, it's easier, and then I will take the seeds out, and even though they're cooked at that point, the chickens love them, and I'll bring them to the chickens.
Really? So you can just bake it. Now, what's the difference between a regular pumpkin and a pie
A
pumpkin?
regular pumpkin is really made for a jack-o'-lantern. It doesn't have as much meat. It's not as sweet. It's really raised for size.
Okay.
Pie pumpkins are obviously much smaller. This is a fairly big pie pumpkin. But they're much thicker in their meat and sweeter. And they're raised specifically for pumpkin, for pumpkin that they then process and can.
Okay.
So
what do you bake them at?
I'm just going to put them in at 350 for probably an hour and a half until they're soft.
Okay.
They kind of deflate and look mushy, and then
We'll see what's on the other side.
prepare.
Okay. Thanks.
How long did you bake them for?
I baked them right at an hour, poked a fork into them, and they're all soft.
So
I
you
took
poke
them
a fork to see if it's
Yeah,
soft?
to see if it's soft.
Okay.
And yeah, as you can see, that's soft. If you bake them longer, they start to dry out. So perfect. So I'm going to let them cool enough now till I can work with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what are you doing?
Taking the pumpkin out of the shells.
Okay, so you slice it in half.
Slice them in half. Take the seeds out. And I'll give these to the birdies tomorrow. That's fun for them. And they're a little softer. I will save all these shells. I've left a little bit of meat in each one so that the birdies have something to chew on.
Chickens like pumpkin?
Chickens love pumpkin. Doggies love pumpkin. Pumpkin's a pretty healthy food. So, and then you want to not get any seeds in here because those are a little hard. Whoops, hard to puree. The idea is you want to puree this so that it's extremely smooth. Oops. So, it seems to want to peel off. This happens to be pretty dry. I think when we newly picked them, the first few weeks we made pumpkin pies, they were very moist, but I think as they sit, they get a little drier. But that's not a problem. I'll just add some liquid to puree them. And it's kind of stringy, so you wouldn't really want to use it without pureeing it. It would not make a very fun pie. Some are smoother than others, and some are just a little stringier. One thing really interesting though here I want to show you. This is not a pumpkin, it's a squash, but this is unique because we don't grow them for the actual meat, although it is edible. I'm going to give it to the chickens. But what makes this unique is that this is a kind of a rare variety that the seeds inside are shellless.
Oh, wow.
So they're soft. They're it's like a shelled pepita, pumpkin seed. And so these are soft, and
But you're not going to use that one. That one's just for the chickens.
not for this. I roasted that for the chickens.
Oh, wow.
Or you can eat the seeds if you want. They're delicious, and they don't have a shell on them like the rest of these all do.
Right.
So this was kind of an experiment this year, growing those to see what that would be like. I think they're neat. I think it'd be fun to save the seeds too for us, but because we have so many chickens and they go nuts for seeds.
So now what do you add to this to puree?
Okay, so let me go on with that. So this is sloppy, but you can sort of see the difference. This is unpureed, and this is a little bit left of the last batch that I pureed. So what I'll do is because it's a little bit dry. And we'll just add some of our delicious water. Put that in there. Close that pup up. And then I will puree it. Actually, let me put this in there in case I need to stomp it down with my trusty Vitamix here. Let's get it started. It's pretty thick, so I think I'll add just a tad more water.
So it's just water and pumpkin.
It's just water and pumpkin. And depending on the juiciness of the pumpkin. Well, I think that's going pretty well. I'll turn that up. Still need more water. Okay, a little bit more here. You don't want to overwater it.
Okay.
So if you take a peek at this, you can see how absolutely smooth this is.
Oh, wow.
This looks
like baby food.
This would be the most incredible baby food. I used to do this for you guys. Put this on dog food. Dogs love it. The chickens. It's extremely healthy. You can make, very often you can make pumpkin pie filling without the crust, and you've just got a good filling. Anyway, I weigh it out in 16-ounce amounts.
And that's so what you have
And
one.
that gives me enough for, for a pie.
16 ounces is 1 pound, right?
Yes.
So you need 1 pound per
Most
pie?
cans have like 15 ounces, but and most pie recipes want you to use a 15-ounce can, but I always end up putting the 16 ounces in there, and they make good pies. Okay, and then what I'll do is just flatten that out and close that up. Get the air out, close it up, and then you can freeze it. If you just freeze it like this, put it in your freezer, then when you take it out of the freezer, it comes out easily. The plastic just slips right off of the pumpkin.
It does? Why? When you
It
flatten it?
No, just any time. They're easy to put in the freezer that way, so
Okay.
that's just kind of what I do. But if you're going to keep these for longer, then I would recommend a vacuum sealer, which I have, but I'm not going to do that with these because I'm going to use these in 4 days for Thanksgiving.
Right.
So anyway, so that's what you do.
That's what you do.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Grier.
Well, you're welcome.
You're fabulous.
Ooh.
Ooh.